Hi, welcome back to Filmonomics and Slated. I'm Steph Paterno, and this week I have an interesting story related to Pono, the high-definition audio music device and ecosystem. Now, for those of you who may not follow the tech trades, they had an incredibly successful campaign on Kickstarter a few months ago, pre-selling over $6 million worth of their devices at $350 a pop. Now, typically, after a successful campaign like that, venture capitalists would come calling. But instead of going with venture capitalists, who often can take a long time doing due diligence and negotiate really hard on valuation and put in all sorts of restrictions and requirements and liquidation preferences, these entrepreneurs decided to go use 21st century tools to do a crowd equity investing campaign. And from that, they were able to raise over $7 million in equity financing. Neil Young, the 68-year-old Canadian musician, lent his star power for this, which brought them extra attention, and that really made a big difference.
Pono is about the music, it's about the people who make the music, and the way it sounds to us when we're in the studio making it. We think that as music lovers, having you along with us from the very beginning, with the special players that we're offering, will be a cool thing for you to be part of and for us to be part of with you.
It used to be that actors would sort of hide behind their agents, and the agents would not lend their actors' names to a film to help raise money. But that's changing now. It's important that actors, or in the case of Neil Young, a musician, put his name or their names on the product that they want to endorse and participate in. Because like you and me, we want to see an authentic story with the real people behind it, putting their own reputations on the line, and that's what's going to make us invest. So it's important that actors keep putting their names out there on their films. Now, people have heard about the success of Kickstarter that Kickstarter has had because there have been some notable films, for instance, such as the Veronica Mars film, as well as Zach Braff's film, Wish I Was Here, and Spike Lee, and one other. And these 4 films are the only 4 out of 35,000 films to have raised over $1 million. The rest of the films, only 15,000 of them completed their campaigns, and typically those campaigns, on average, are $12,000 in size, so they're minuscule. So eventually filmmakers have to go raise money from professional investors or distributors and do some pre-sales. Now this is exactly what Slated has been built upon. When we started this, it was always about focusing on the film industry, helping introduce you to the right type of talent, which could be high-profile actors, directors, producers, sales agents, distributors, but also really catering to the professional investor and making sure that they're getting equity. So Slated only caters to equity investors who are going to own a piece of the potential profits. And of all the films that have completed funding on Slated, they've been typically star-driven, and they're in the $1 to $5 million budget range. So these are typically bigger films that get theatrical releases and bigger investors. Our investors typically put up $10,000 to $250,000 or multiple millions. But what's important to note is that even in those cases, most films on Slated that have done crowdfunding were raising about 10% of their budget from the fans. And that's an important component. Fans are a great catalyst. They create grassroots word of mouth and awareness. So you should always look to do a crowdfunding campaign, but definitely complement it with equity investing, which is what Slated does. There's actually a lot more I'd like to talk to you about with equity crowdfunding. However, I'm going to save that for the next time. So thank you for tuning in. Oh, be sure to subscribe as usual by clicking on the button over here. See you for the next segment.